Guys, thank you for watching the show. As always, please, if you can, go into the description. There is a Patreon, there is a Locals, there is a Cash App, a PayPal, and a Buy Me a Coffee, Kofi, Kofi. Those are all ways that you guys can independently fund this show so that I am not beholden to YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, etc. The vast majority of you guys do anywhere from $1 to $3 a month. It makes a world of a difference. There's 12,000 of you guys on YouTube. The show runs on 5 grand a month. My goal is to get away from Rumble, Spotify, YouTube in terms of being beholden to them so that the show is kind of invincible and can just keep going. So a lot of you guys have joined. Right now the show is making like $1,000 a month just from all the little donations. My goal for the end of the year is to get it up to five because that's how much it costs to run. So thank you. And if you want something in return, you guys can go to the description. Sport Drink sponsors me now. Promo code Tommy's Podcast, and there's the link in the description. Heaven's Harvest Prepper Food. They've been sponsoring me for a couple years. Are recording on Thursday, February 19th, 2026 at 2:25 p.m. Eastern Time with Colonel Watkins and Mr. William Ramsey and talking about really, it's a very broad topic, all things Epstein, and for everybody listening, please go to the description, please go follow the Twitters. You can find all of the links to Mr. Ramsey's books as well as your podcast. Could you just, as a kind of jumping off point, Will, could you say what you're just saying to us about how it's been very clear that, Bannon and Epstein are absolutely chummy, but I didn't know that. You said there was I guess, a talk of an invite, and then a couple months before he got arrested, it seems like it either fell through or Bannon didn't go. It's, are you starting to go, oh, something might be a little fucked here?
I think he knew like something was going on, something darker. There were communications between Bannon and Epstein going from 2018 all the way, as far as I could tell, to May or June of 2019. So right before he was arrested in July. And there's definitely emails between him and his scheduling person was got Bannon's a passport. So it got all the way to getting the passport for Bannon to fly to Little St. James in early May. And then then there was an email I saw that said cancel Steve Bannon. So, and that I can't find too many too many communication after that. But before, it's almost like they were communicating on a daily basis through iMessage and real inside baseball stuff and kind of a lot of sophisticated stuff. There's Epstein knew NLP. He knew Ericksonian hypnosis. He understood how to presuppose ideas into people's minds, excuse me. But he knew all this stuff. But they're talking on a daily basis. They're very intimate, in my opinion. And Bannon is involved in a lot of meetings at the Hell House at the mansion in New York City. So he's constantly going there. He's also very aware that there are people watching. So there's actually communications between Bannon and Epstein where he's like, you can come around the back. I can let you in the side or we can meet somewhere else. So he knew Epstein, it seemed like since late 2018 all the way to July, knew that the pressure was growing. So it's really something else. I can actually share that to you. I have it listed.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me see if
Yeah.
I can find it.
Yeah, Bannon's not to whatever I know about him. I don't think Bannon's not a stupid guy, which tells me that it's no part of it was like, oh, I found out he was up to no good, but rather, oh, the walls are closing in on you, and I don't want any part of this.
I got that total sense. Like there was actually a contract between Indike, who was Epstein's personal lawyer, and Bannon. There's a contract for a consultant. I never saw the signed contract. The contract exists. It's kind of a sophisticated contract. It's not like something that they got off to the internet or something. So it seems like Bannon was really in that role. So it seems to me, I don't have proof of payment, but it seems like their relationship was not just personal, but it was financial as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I find this interesting from both perspectives. You certainly could make an argument that Bannon in the correspondence, I agree completely that there was a very close knit relationship there. But there's part of me, just having done so much research in how the CIA infiltrates people, to think that on the other side, there would be people infiltrating these networks too. And I think you can make an argument on both sides of that. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how the whole thing turns out, because the only way that you understand these networks is being in the networks.
Well, yeah, and letting them operate to find out how they work.
Yeah. And I always go back. I did a real, at the very beginning of this years ago, I did a lot of reading about Operation Greylord and the takedown of corruption, not that they got it all, in Chicago. And how, because these operations are siloed, no one else knew who the good guys and the bad guys were. So when you were approached, if you were one of the good guys and acting like you were the bad guy, none of the bad guys, nor many of the good guys, knew that you were the good guy. And at the end, when they actually started indicting people, it was only when the indictments came down that it was revealed who were, you know, operating inside of those networks, gathering all of the information. And so I'm very hesitant to pass judgment on
Sure.
different people when we're in the middle of the operation.
It is some end of Scooby-Doo shit. Yeah, pulling the masks off. That's a fair point, though. Yeah, it is the fog of war kind of thing. It's very easy
Yeah.
to, yeah, that's a fair point. All right, what are we looking at, Will?
Is that the one with where they're talking about being staked out? I think that's
Has the
one that I
media
have up.
staked out your place yet? Yeah.
Right. So he's aware of being staked out and all that stuff. So it's I have too many windows open. Oh, there it is. So it's like, yeah, they're talking. Perfect. Has the media staked out your place? That this is late 2018, November.
November 28th.
These are all great because they're all timed. Like
Yeah, no,
they
it
have
is.
the time and date and everything. You know exactly where
They got the hour, minute, second. This is
Yeah, we can go through these. They're really incredible because it shows how astute geopolitically and internal USA politics they are. They're constantly talking about being on shows. Epstein's following Bannon's career very closely. He's watching him go on shows and who he's talking to. And some of these I don't even want to show. They're very graphic, but we can do it.
no, you can. I don't care.
Okay. But this is one, like, has the media staked out your place? No, all easy. Lots of people. Jabor's on his way. Very cool. Any further feedback for MBZ? So he's in communication with Mohammed bin Salman or so, whatever that guy, MBS or whatever. But that's an interesting one. And this is an interesting document that I found that indicates this whole story about them going to the island. This is an email. This is from Groff, who is kind of Epstein's secretary or scheduler. Hello, Steve. Happy to help coordinate tickets to Jeffrey's Island off St. Thomas Saturday. So this is May. They're scheduled for May 6th. I need to know where's if you're flying, copies of passports. Thanks, Leslie, assistant to Jeffrey Epstein. So there's earlier emails where Epstein's trying to get Bannon to go to the island for like 10 days or something like that. But it's really something else. Let's see. Here's another one, Bannon to island.
And then Bannon calls in sick at the last minute.
It seems like it. There was an email that I saw that said, cancel Bannon to the island. So, but here's another email one. This Vizosky is the pilot. So Jeffrey planned tomorrow. Oh, this is 2018. Thank you, Larry. Yes, Bannon and some guy with Bannon looks like security guy. Also Renato. So Bannon looks like he was there in 2018. Hi, Larry. Did Jeffrey give you details? I need to confirm. Bannon, anyone returned to New York with him? So this is a different time. So it just shows their relationship goes back. Let's see. Oh, and then here's the cancellation right here. So this happens on the 3rd. of May. This is Daphne Wallace, who I don't know this is, but it says from Jeffrey or Jay, cancel Bannon. So the plan was on, and then Bannon backed out, and then Epstein got arrested in 2 months later. And then here's more passport information. This is from the first. So this is, I mean, the amount of like details is just incredible. This is these are the names. I don't know who Dane Valverde is or Daniel Fluette, but there they are. They had copies of their passports. Do you need other stuff? This is right from the 1st of 2019. And Centurion relationship manager. I don't even know who that is, but that's all there.
Can you imagine having this stuff for like JFK, like
Yeah.
in the 60s, like James Jesus Angleton, like texting, like, Curtis LeMay? Is that maybe not to kind of go off on a tangent, but do you think that's part of why this stuff comes about? Are they more or less inept than I guess the deep state of yesteryear, or is it just kind of the impossibility of doing what used to be done? I mean, we're looking at, time, we're looking at month, day, minute, second of their exact exchanges, and that simply didn't exist 60 years ago.
Well, actually, you will find in many of the cases with these in the 1960s, a lot of them kept either diaries or minutes. So there is actually a lot of information. There's very few people that have ever went through the troves of documents in, presidential libraries and stuff like that, and got like Schlesinger the entire time during president kept a diary. He has years and years of very detailed notes of meetings and stuff like that. I think we're watching the electronic version of, I mean, if you look at Meyer's wife, Mary,
Yeah.
yeah, she had a
Mary
diary
Pinchot,
that James,
Mary
yeah,
Pinchot Meyer. Yeah.
James
Yeah, Angleton went to her house and
Angleton
got.
broke in and stole. So there were detailed information about stuff like that. And a lot of people kept them. And that's how, in many cases, in books that I've read, there's quotes. Look at Oliver North.
Mm,
Oliver North had tons. He tried to shred most of them when he got caught, but he had tons of notes.
uh, great book is The Ghost by Jefferson Morley about James Jesus Angleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a sorry. I'm distracting us. What do you have pulled up, Will?
Well, I was just saying that they're knowledgeable about victims in March 2019. So they're talking about it. At this time, the Bannon's brought in to kind of change Epstein's perception. They talk about him being a pedo and stuff, but they wanted to change his perception from a pedo to a philanthropist. And so they're talking back and forth. And this, for some reason, it's redacted, but it says now blank tweets he represents two victims who will put their name to this first draft. So they're sending stuff back and forth, but they're aware that victims in 2019 are coming forward.
Yeah, they were talking about editing his Wikipedia page.
Right.
Yeah.
Then here's another one where they like to talk about Trump's anatomy. They do it a lot. There's two things in here where they're talking about his anatomy in addition to the geopolitics that they're interested in. They're talking about Oslo, the play, and they're talking about the image you meeting with the Nobel Peace Prize winners. I'm all about peace. In her book, Daniels also delivers a blow-the-belt blow to size-obsessed Trump, describing his genitals in lurid detail. So they're talking. I don't know if you guys can read that. I don't know if
He
I
knows
want to
he
read
has.
it.
No, I don't care. Yeah, scroll back
Good.
up. In her book, Daniels, I guess Stormy Daniels, also delivers a below the belt blow to the size obsessed Trump, describing his genitals in lurid detail. She says his penis is smaller than average, but not freakishly small. He knows he has an unusual penis. Daniels claims it has a huge mushroom head like a toadstool. Bannon, what the fuck? I mean, it's odd, I guess. Kind of, if anything, it shows I don't know, the relationship between these two. That's small talk.
Yeah, but it just shows this communication. This is late 2018. They're talking about the Nobel Peace Prize, traveling around constantly, meeting with foreign ministers. Bannon's giving speeches. It's just like all this, it's just like there's just so much stuff. There's issues about Stanley Pottinger here. They just like talk crap behind everybody's back. Pottinger, I think, was a big time lawyer who's behind all this stuff. But coup, this is 2018, September. Pottinger, his whole family are rats. His brother Stan would have written it. Pottinger's family not good. Rotten, David Boy's partner. Committing perjury. Sent you the editor quote. They're like, how was Woodward on TV? So they're like interested in how people are doing TV shows and stuff. Trusted intermediaries. Talking about Sweden. Ken Starr is constantly going to. I didn't know this, but Ken Starr is constantly going to Epstein's mansion during this time. So it seems like they're really doing strategy sessions with Starr. But didn't we talk about Rumler interest before that?
Yes.
This is Friday night will work if I get early. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, should be a full week for you. Otherwise, Rumler set for Saturday lunch. Should have Miro as well, sure. So there, Rumler's around. I didn't really focus on Rumler in this one, but
and I mentioned, to put that in context, I mentioned before the show was on that I was fascinated in seeing all of the communication with Rumler. And the reason why that stuck out is I found the one email that was talking about her receiving a particular CIA award. And in my research, everybody's free to try to prove me wrong, and I'd love to be proven wrong, but there is no civilian that has ever received that particular CIA award that was not under the operational control of the CIA. So I get the inclination that Rumler is somehow associated with the CIA having received that award.
That would make sense. It would make sense that we don't know that that's who the CIA is employing.
this is another one. Involves Rumler. Happy to see you've come better. Separate from the process server that left yesterday, the early morning doorman next door any day of who. I don't know, but real folks costing a lot of coin. NFL. They use NFL in the out of context. I don't know what it means, but I don't think it means National Football League. Like, this is kind of their stuff. So he says,
Yeah.
don't know, but real folks costing a lot of coin. NFL, exactly. Somebody has to figure that out. They're speaking in terms. Oh, this is where they're trying to be deceptive, right? Can meet me at 301 East 66 if you prefer. I'll send apartment number. I don't like the Regency as it is totally weird. There's also a rear entrance on 67 if you prefer. Super secure. Okay. So they're knowingly, not being seen in public together, which I think is a huge tell. Someone can meet you and take you in. Apartment J7. Meeting morning tomorrow. They talk about this film, American Dharma, with Errol Morris. Love, love, love it. Have you decided on a time and place? I'll get food for us at 66th Street. Coming to City till Monday. Here with the Wall Street Journal guy screening film. Yes. Epstein. Question. Your girlfriend Rumler is coming over. I won't share it unless you think okay.
So wait a minute. Go back to the screening.
Screening? This one. This is the American Dharma.
Reading a movie with the Washington Post. I find that
here with the Wall Street Journal. That's WSJ.
Yeah, Wall Street Journal. I find that fascinating. Just because of how much the CIA is involved in movies in general and their Mockingbird media.
Right. Morris concedes that American Dharma could be an uncomfortable experience for those still wrestling with the realities of the Trump era in America. It's kind of a horror movie, says Morris. I don't know how better to describe it. Errol Morris, love it, and then love, love, love it. It's back and This is like deception, though. Trump at war. Your girlfriend is coming over. Won't share. Let her watch. It's X-rated for violence and language now. Epstein, great. Are you sending a link? Also, think about a private screening of Dharma for the power players. New York and or Europe. None of my fingerprints. So they're engaged in like this deception or being silent. Pecker immunity, one more drop. Huge event, huge. Kids next, nice juxtaposition while watching your movie. More women payoffs coming. So they're talking about payoffs. I don't know what they're talking about specifically, but maybe Bannon's also involved in damage control, that he's involved in as an intermediary between the victims. I don't know. You are dark, not evil, so I think even you will be surprised. That's what Epstein says to Bannon. Wow. Your girlfriend is outraged. I suggested to her he pardon everyone. Say this is not good for the country, then fake the heart attack. So I think the girlfriend is like, he's saying Rumler's girlfriend, either jokingly or something, but it says right here, your girlfriend Rumler's coming over. They seem to kind of have a more than a personal relationship. Have you come across anything where Jeff and Rumler were romantically involved?
Not like actual sexual, but they
kind of chat like they're a little bit more than just,
yes.
platonic friends.
Yes.
When he says more payoffs coming, is that referring to Trump and Stormy Daniels, or is that referring to Epstein's victims, or do we not know?
I don't know. When did we find out about all of Trump's payoffs? Like, I have to go back and like my memory.
It was just such a tsunami of dog shit for 4 years. I don't remember.
So Trump's paying people off and Epstein's paying people. So I don't
Maybe that's more telling. The fact that we don't know who it is.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's a notable quote though. You're dark, not evil.
Yeah.
So even he's saying like, no, you're not, like, shit's fucked.
Right. Here's another one. Like, see, this is like the code. Look at this for me and tell me what you guys think. This is another email. And
welcome to the NFL.
Bannon, yeah, there it is again. So it's Emily Smith is calling them, right? I'm working on a story about Mr. Epstein meeting with Steve Bannon in New York. This is August 2018. Trying to reach out to a spokesperson. Bannon writes, all over my team. So this girl, Emily Smith, all over my team. She's an assassin. We have gone radio silent. So she's not, I guess that means he's not responding. Then Jeffrey says, good. How did your girl do? Then he says, Bannon, burned out. Jeffrey, sorry. Bannon, welcome to the NFL. It's like a non sequitur, like the standard meaning of NFL. It doesn't fall. They're not talking about sports. They have code words.
Can I give you the overview of that movie they were talking about that they were saying was so good, Dharma?
American Dharma, yeah, sure.
A drama that's visceral and unflinching short film that confronts the dark realities of abuse and power. With its brutal and blood-soaked sequences, the movie delivers gripping action that heightens adrenaline, supported by dynamic, imprecise camera movements. At its core, it explores sexual authority, individuals who not only perpetrate violence, but also manipulate systems to conceal their crimes. The narrative also reflects on the power of media in shaping public opinion and how such coverage can deeply affect the psychological state of survivors.
Wow. That's like everything about Epstein.
It's almost like it's a documentary of Epstein.
Right. It's a little on the nose.
Yeah. So they're talking about it. I wonder who financed. Yeah, I don't know if you know who Errol Morris is, but he's kind of a famous documentarian. I think he did Thin Blue Line. You know that documentary?
I recognize the name.
It was directed by Joni Aston. Ariadi, Ariadi. I'm not familiar.
No. He also did one about called Wormwood, which is about the Olsen death in the CIA 1953, I think, where
Frank
it
Olson.
was, yeah, Frank Wilson, thanks, thrown out the window. This is another thing I found regarding Bannon. So it looks like there was at least a document drawn up that is a engagement or a reading that he would be a consultant to provide certain confidential litigation support services. Bannon's not an attorney.
No.
I've been retained with other attorneys by legal advice, Jeffrey Epstein, concerning certain pending and threatened legal proceedings involving Mr. Epstein. The services relate directly to the legal proceedings, litigation support to be provided by the consultants, of which Bannon seems to be, because there's the supplemental signature page, agreed and accepted by Stephen K. Bannon. Engagement letter, April 3rd, 2019. So the people are getting over this. Undersigned is discussed with Bannon is fully aware of litigation support service to be provided pursuant to the engagement letter. I have to find the engagement letter now. Yeah, what the hell's Bannon doing? What kind of person is he? Just like, is he a media consultant, and that's his support for the litigation? Is that he's over there manipulating, public opinion?
It seems to be, isn't it a pretty common theme, or at least a theory over the decades that, for instance, like let's go with this thought exercise, be like, oh, that's not Epstein. That's you're thinking about Eyes Wide Shut. They kind of do this thing where it kind of seems like that's almost what American Dharma is. Like, "No, that's not Epstein. That was a movie. Like, that's not real. No, that was the movie JFK." That kind of seems to be something that they do.
Yes. They conflate reality with non-reality.
Yeah.
I've also noticed when you search on people, this is just a weird phenomenon, especially people associated with the CIA. You find other people of the same name, so it makes it extremely difficult. You have to go through pages of shorts. There'll be like sports figures, and they're always much younger. It's almost like the name repetition allows them to bury themselves in research so that it's so difficult to actually find them. And I also found that most of these operations have a video game. That was the weirdest thing. I'm not a video gamer, but I will go through different coups that the CIA did and stuff like that. And somebody will go, "Oh my God, that's on video, whatever." Like, yes, they have an entire video series of Operation Condor. Just look up Operation Condor. It's hard to find material on Operation Condor because the search results have all of the video games.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, in terms of hiding in terms of hiding within the names, wasn't there another George Bush, not H.W. Bush, in Dallas when Kennedy got shot? There was another CIA case officer named George Bush there that day.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems pretty obviously intentional. No, that wasn't Tommy's podcast. That was Tom's podcast. Like, yeah, it's come on. You see but unless you're looking at it with a electron microscope, you might just go, oh, and just fluff it all together.
Yes.
You and I talked in the past, Tommy, about these narratives or these things in video games, how sophisticated they were, like these mind control things. So like it's these writers or whatever are getting the stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people are intel.
No, yeah, you're right. Call of Duty Black Ops, it's about killing Kennedy, but the entire thing is about MK Ultra. The entire thing is about, trigger words. Like both Black Ops 1 and 2 and 3, they're all that. These are giant franchises.
And so just so the audience knows, CIA has had consultants in Hollywood for decades.
Yes.
And they have been consultants on video games. And we know that they were involved in MK Ultra and mind altering experiments, hypnotics, one of their fascinations. So you go back and you look at RFK's assassination with Sirhan Sirhan and the police reports were like, he was so calm and cool and collective. He said he didn't remember anything that happened. And they actually stated it was like he was in a hypnotic trance.
Right. Same thing with Chapman. A lot of these guys are like that. This is an interesting one. This is like a guy who's been kicked. Like there's investigations going on all over the world. For people who don't know, Prince Andrew was arrested today. Were you guys
Yes.
aware of that? So
No,
it's a
today.
huge event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Brother of the king just got arrested.
so there's
But,
they just
but
there's
why was he arrested? What was the charge?
I think that he was involved with nefarious deeds with Epstein. I don't know the
No.
specifics though.
No,
What?
the charge was revealing state secrets to non-citizen UK people.
that's wild.
It's wild. It's a huge event. So he got kicked out of. He's no longer a prince, I think. And then he's not unable to get money from they just take money right out of the taxpayers' dollars. I don't think he's allowed to do that. Then they kicked him out of a house, and now they must know more than the public does, I would suspect. But there's a picture of him in these new drops where it looks like he's with a 12-year-old kid or something like.
Or they've always known it, but now they know it's coming out.
Well, and what's his whole name? His middle name is Mountbatten. If you know anything about Mountbatten, I mean, that was one of the most prolific pedophiles ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a known. He would go to like Malta where there are like brothels for teen dudes. That was his thing. And when they blew him up, when the IRA blew him up off the coast of Ireland, there were like 2 teen boys on the boat with him.
Yeah.
So he was like yachting with teen kids. So he was like, and he was actually known as kind of like King Charles's mentor.
Yes, he was. And he
Really
was
crazy.
the what do they call it? The viceroy or whatever of India.
That's right.
Yes. And he had a reputation for all of that while he was in India. Very
Yeah, really corrupt. Very corrupt. Yeah, this guy Lang, so the Minister of Culture, this guy either left his job or got kicked out of his job. So this is like another interesting aspect of this. They're aware of that. Lang is very close to Epstein. Let's see.
And who's Lang?
He's a French guy. He's a French kind of guy who was the head of their culture ministry. Here's the image. Here's the one where he says he's gonna. I think I've shown this before, but he's telling. He's telling Bannon. Bannon's telling Epstein he's going to change his perception. They told the police they were told by the friend of theirs brought them in, asked if you were 18, exactly the opposite of sting results, where guys looking for underage girls. Each girl was coming to the house with massage. They're talking about it.
Mesmer, yeah.
But where's the one where he says like the pedophile, like we're going to change you. Yeah. Mesmerized because they were sold you were a monster. We need to work around your 38. First, we need to push back on the lies, then crush the pedo trafficking narrative, then rebuild your image as a philanthropist.
Do you think they get like Bannon and do you think they had even a moment's pause as they're like typing that out with their thumbs? Like,
No,
am I a bad guy? Or am I just looking at it as somebody who's not a psychopath?
no, I don't. I don't think they think these things will ever be exposed. I don't.
I mean,
I'll be right back. I gotta blow my nose.
yeah, you're good. Yeah, let's push back on the narrative that you're a pedophile. I mean, if you find yourself saying that, like,
That's bad. And
if you ever find yourself going like, I'm gonna keep going on Tommy's podcast, it's just that whole tinge about him and like the 4-year-old girl. Like as you were saying that, you go, I'm blocking his number and I'm not going on a shit. You'd go, what
what
am I? Eh,
am I doing?
Yeah, but there's not even a moment's pause. Is that just how they operate at this level?
Yes.
Really is just that ruthless.
Yes. Um, you know, oh, I could tell you so many stories. The just I was just on a show last night and we were covering the successful coup as opposed to the unsuccessful coup that happened in the 1950s. They eventually did coup the Sukarno in the 1960s. In the immediate aftermath of that coup, over 1 million people were killed because it basically the entire archipelago of Indonesia went through like a civil war.
Hmm.
And they literally don't care. They don't care at all. They don't care how many people die. They don't care how many people are displaced. They literally don't care.
You brought this point up. Yeah, whose son was it that was injured in Korea and then MK Ultra'd? Was that what?
Dulles.
Yeah,
No,
they don't give a fuck.
he wasn't MK Ultra. He was part of the MK Ultra
He was
program.
permanently brain damaged, I think.
So he had permanent brain damage. There was shrapnel in his brain, so he didn't operate normally. During MK Ultra, they had multiple locations where they were administering a bunch of different experiments, one of which was in Canada. They sent their son to
Yeah.
Canada for the electroshock therapy that is basically supposed to like blank your brain. That was what the intended purpose of that part of the MK Ultra was, so they could rebuild your brain. And yes, he submitted his son to that treatment.
Ewan Cameron.
He also had a niece that they did a lobotomy on using a CIA doctor.
So sinister. Just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Dulles was friends with Cameron. Their connection goes back to World War II. So Dulles sent Cameron into to a psychological eval of Hess while Hess was arrested. So, and Ewan Cameron never gave up his American citizenship, by the way. So he was in Canada at McGill, but he was still an American citizen. I think the head of the World Psychiatric Congress or something crazy like that.
Yes.
Here's one, Bannon to Epstein. If you have time, give some blood before you go. The results will be waiting for your return. You cannot put your head in the sand. Sorry. I'm aware of the superstition and the desire not to confront harsh realities. That's what friends are for. It all goes to shit if you are not healthy. Bannon, I know. Knowing versus doing, not a close call. Lucifer, this is what he's saying Bannon would become. Lucifer with a stroke. Bent horns and all, doesn't look good. You and I are both relentless. Hang on. Needs 2 functional arms. So Epstein is concerned about Bannon's health.
my version of talking truth to power. It's smiley face. Yeah, it's giving you tough love.
So, but like all this stuff they're talking, they're just really just love geopolitics and they love all these hearings and all this stuff. Kavanaugh, they're talking about crap about Trump again. Trump said apparently Trump on Florence, one of the wettest we've ever seen from the standpoint of water. Then Epstein says stable. Bannon, very stable, genius. Girlfriend coming for lunch. Bloodbath, Jason Miller crushed. Custody battle, like there's just stuff about Judge Judy, China experts. But yeah, Lucifer with a stroke. That's what Epstein writes about.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't pedophiles and trafficking kids, it'd almost be like 2 admirable minds picking apart current events. Just, the raping
Just
children.
in the contents of him raping children and children being raped. Like we went over that, Tommy.
Yeah.
Like children being raped at that freaking mansion.
Yeah, that
5-year-old kids. Like
that
it's
little
bad.
asterisk. Yeah.
Like, people don't get it. Like, they've been seeded this lie that it was just teen girls.
No, no,
No.
no, no, no. Yeah, no, the episode you and I did, everybody listening, you go back 2 episodes. Yeah, we're talking about the in-depth, the detail of, oh no, I mean, extremely graphic. A bunch of grown men holding open a woman or a child's legs, the physical damage to her vagina, the bruises on her face, bleeding lips and shins. It's, as we said, not it's not that it's quote unquote only, 17-year-old girls that's still bad. It is so much darker.
Way much darker. I mean, especially with the babies being torn away and disappeared by that girl. This is recent litigation, by the way. Recent civil litigation, 2021, something like that. Like, fairly recent. I mean, there's enough. It's just one huge criminal conspiracy. It's one big RICO case.
Well, it's just saying, hey,
Uh,
Fox, Steve Wynn, careful. Wasn't Steve Wynn killed?
I think he's still alive.
Steve
Oh,
Wynn?
he's so right.
Bach is the guy who's the head of
Who am I
what's the
thinking of?
place south of Malaysia? Singapore, isn't he that? They're talking about Me Too, or a multi-message lesbian deplorable march as both groups can champion the idea of not doing dick. As a reminder, Chinatown, the movie, you wouldn't look very good with that bandage under your nose, no rush, but for text. Geez, boss, this is Chinatown. Was Bannon investigated, or did he have like his own sexual abuse things? I don't know.
I don't know.
If either one of us, a different investigation will need to testify publicly, it would be preferred to do it with 2 nostrils instead of 1. Somewhere beyond extradition. Talk about Faust. Not Me Too. Time's up. Not about the act of sex, about power dynamics. Dubin, breast cancer, Mount Sinai. I'm all over it. It's at the best in the world. Of course, Jews. Bannon. Love being a junior partner to chosen people of Yahweh. Yahweh, like Mish gas. Got to get the spelling right. Not sure Beelzebub is considered a junior partner, more like outside counsel. They like to talk about Lucifer and Beelzebub.
Yeah,
Beelzebub is the Lord of the Flies. Lord of
yeah.
the Flies.
What? Yeah, that's.
I've been talking too much. My voice is just gone.
No, you're good,
Totally
man.
raspy. I was referring to all Christians. Trump an instrument. No pun intended, but yellow flag. They get into some racism too.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of racism.
That's like the least of the issue.
Yeah,
It
it's
really
nothing.
is. Like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
What has Bannon said about all of this since this has come out?
I don't know. He said that. I mean, I think the new line is that he was infiltrating Epstein for noble reasons or something.
Oh, what a cocksucker.
Yeah, it's just complete nonsense. When you read through these, you're like, you're getting paid, dude. That contract I showed shows that he's kind of some kind of litigation support consultant.
Fuck that guy.
He's talking. Reed Weingarten I think, is his attorney, so he's with him in February 2019. Bullshit. Ruskies and Chinks have always competed and hated each other. And worse, Ruskies are more racist than even we are. And the idea of playing second fiddle to yellow people.
Hmm.
Good grief.
Yeah. They're always talking about people. Bolsonaro, Trump, pictures. There's picture Bannon. Michael and Reed at my house Monday, 8:30 morning to strategize and PR my craziness. You around in DC? Reed Hoffman, maybe? Who's the head of LinkedIn? Like, that guy's involved in other things other than his businesses. Like, he supports a lot of like litigation and stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm not
So
saying.
Bannon and Reed Hoffman are interchangeable.
Can you say that again?
Well, he's texting Bannon, right? And he says, "Oh, I'm not available. I'm in DC." And he says, "Is Reed Hoffman?"
Oh, right. There you go.
Inferring that they're interchangeable.
Yeah, really. Yeah. He talks about Mr. Evil and stuff like this. I mean, there's just all these references: Lucifer, evil, light and dark,
Was
all these names.
was Epstein really just like the Rain Man? Just had all of these connections, or was he a front for, I mean, obviously it seems like he was a front for intelligence, but I mean, again, evil aside, he's an extremely impressive individual if half this shit's true. I mean, from, genetic sequencing to geopolitics to resource extraction to war material movement. I mean, it almost seems like like if this was 5,000 years ago, you'd say like, oh, that he was an amalgamation of 10 characters. Do you know what I mean?
But
Right.
he's actually a if you were to take his name off of all of this,
Yeah,
there are people historically that works for the CIA that
which
would
is like
have
that.
say conversations minus the pedophilia. As far as you think about Frank Wisner had 10 or 15 operations going on around the world, was read in on the geopolitics, knew all of the players. Alan Dulles, the people at the top echelons of intelligence agencies.
Yeah, Colonel, we just lost you.
About geopolitics, the financial, everything about it. And they were involved in all of it.
Yeah, I mean, what's this? Well,
Trish Reagan. They're talking about Trish Reagan. This is May 22nd, 2019. Trish, I appreciate you doing me tonight. I roared with laughter, says Epstein Bannon. She's a lot hotter than I remember. I mean, by the way, highest ratings ever for her, most picked up by other sources, and running for student council went viral. Eleanor Roosevelt is hotter than you remember. Bannon, I love her because she loves blank more than me. They're just like, and then his favorite word is Grundoon. You can claim on any Grundoon. Her notebook's killer. Like Paul Revere, if I were you, I'd be calling attention to the renminbi. Put their currency plain in sunlight. So they're like bouncing between like what's on TV and like geopolitics and finance. Instead of realizing their slavery system is doomed, they want an enemy for the people to point to as reason. Effing genius.
Always have to have a boogeyman.
Sure do. I mean, he's just like, just riffing on all the stuff. Tom Friedman. There's Trump and Bannon. I mean, I have to go back and look at Bannon's kind of like career because I know he got elbowed out of the White House pretty early. I remember he
mhm.
going in there in like 2016 or something like that.
I think he was
And
out
then,
by 2018-ish.
yeah, I think he was out. There's talks about poisoning and stuff. Like, so they're aware of poisons. This is Epstein just talking to some rando. This is not, couldn't figure out who this person is, but it's J.E. Vacation. So we know it's him, but like, he's talking to some girl, it seems like. I'll go to the doctor tomorrow if you want. Yes, I believe it is okay. You believe it is okay to put me at risk of getting a disease. You did not lie, and for that, which I appreciate, I'm told I would still help you. What I didn't ask me, okay, showing me the boy's health certificate. You can go to the doctor in London, travel safe. I wouldn't have to tell you not to hit me. So, like, I guess he's getting hit by one of these girls. I wouldn't have to tell you not to hit me. I wouldn't have to tell you not to poison me. I wouldn't have to tell you not to physically damage me, but somehow you think I have to tell you not to risk of giving me the disease. Silly. Let's talk next week. Why do you think I'm sick if we used a condom and we have the test results? You just kicked me out. I made a mistake. I didn't think it was that important to you. What should I do so that you forgive me? We will talk next week. Go to London, go to doctor.
Good God.
I mean, she's, I know that you love purity, and I will do everything to make you forgive me. He doesn't love purity. He's like one of the most impure people imaginable. So, yeah. Somebody that wouldn't invite Bannon to his party because they think he's evil. So this is,
That's
I don't know who this is. It's either Chomsky or something like that. This is to Larry Summers. He's talking to Summers, who he's like talks behind his back all the time. I will be bringing Bannon with me to Martin's. Would you like me to bring him with me to see you? We could all watch 60 Minutes together. I guess they were on 60 Minutes. And then Summers responds, Lisa says no to Bannon at her house. Thinks him evil. Happy to see you at house, or I can see you and Bannon somewhere else. Let me know. And then Martin's, this is from March 2, 2018. So one of the interesting things is there was a meeting at Jeffrey's mansion between Bannon and Crick, who was like Crick and Watson were the two guys who found
DNA double helix. That's what I mean. This guy's everywhere.
Here it is right here. This is 2018, Jeffrey Bannon, to Bannon. It's my 65th birthday. Considering a deplorables lunch. James Watson, as in Crick and Watson. Woody Allen, Kathy Rumler, tip of the hat to Colonel, former White House counsel, and even MW has agreed to join. Don't know how you would think about coming. As you are well aware, friendship and honest brokering is my touchstone. It's almost comical. One of the interesting things that I heard is that he was retained as some kind of tax counsel for the Rothschilds, for Baron D. Rothschild Bank, and they paid him a fee to like handle some tax issues. And it's a strange thing to ask Epstein about that, to like handle tax issues, because he's not presenting himself as a tax expert.
No.
So the Baron de Rothschild Bank paid, I have to find the document, but they paid him money to handle that. And then they paid him the $25 million for a consulting fee.
Which,
and so
he
I was gonna say taxes like NFL. What does it mean? Yeah.
But their tax, this came up in the savings and loan. Their tax solutions are trust on particular, like the Isle of Jersey, the Caymans. That's the tax advice. He's actually, the CIA did this notoriously, setting up these fake banks in these different island that gravitates to hosting these trusts. When I was researching Castle Bank, which was set up infamously by Paul Helliwell, the guy that was instrumental in Southeast Asia opium trade and sea supply and all of that other stuff. That's what he was a lawyer, and that's what he specialized in. When you look, when Castle Bank was exposed as being a CIA front bank, do you know who the largest depositor there and had numerous trusts set up in the Bahamas?
I'm afraid.
The Pritzker family.
Wow.
They were the largest depositor in that bank, and it was a CIA front bank. You just can't make it up.
No.
They're all laundering money.
That's the kind of tax advice they give.
Right. I think you're right. And that's kind of what Epstein's specialty was like tax avoidance schemes. And he was trying to do that. There's a guy, John Helmer, who I was listening to his podcast. He was a podcast guest on something called Dialogue Works. And Epstein was trying to market himself to like the Russian oligarchs as like a tax avoidance specialist. So tax scam and avoid scams.
Yes.
But Helmer thought it was like a real joke because they're specialists at that already. So they don't need to go farm it out to Epstein because they're already doing it. They're already pros. But it was interesting. Helmer lives in Russia, so he saw it as a different kind of, from a different angle about Epstein trying. And he was always trying to ingratiate himself with Putin. So try to find some way to get to Putin.
Well, yeah, that goes back to the whole Edmund Safra and Bill Browder scam that they were trying to run as the Union was collapsing to basically get in there and monopolize the resources. I bet they wanted to get to Putin.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt. I mean, what was the guy before Putin? It was Yeltsin.
Yeah.
So they were like stealing as much as they could. I mean, that's one of the interesting aspects of Putin is he kind of had to get the oligarchs under his thumb who had kind of taken over the country, much like they've taken over the U.S., which the Epstein files, I think, clearly show.
Yes.
But, I'll find one.
But Putin does illustrate that it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's why they hate him.
Yeah.
One of the many reasons.
A lot of those guys the oligarchs had to leave the country. There was all kinds of like really colossal battles. And
because that whole scam that Bill Browder was working with Magnitsky got exposed. And a lot of the oligarchs were involved in that. And once it got exposed and he mysteriously dies in prison, Magnitsky, they had all of the paperwork of the oligarchs that were working with them. And they left.
yeah, no, there was one that ended up in London and then he died mysteriously. A lot of poisonings. So,
A lot of poisonings. And it wasn't poisonous frog poisonings.
There was one that was a super sophisticated poison. I forgot what it was. It was trying to find this one for where Fergie is talking to Epstein and she's like, I blame you for my husband. You only tried to get to Andrew. You only became friends with me so you could get to Andrew. She literally says that to Epstein. That's probably the truth. But I'm trying to find that file. I forgot. Well, I guess I have to look up Sarah. I don't have my files very well categorized at this point.
I think you get some leeway. They're still relatively new.
Yeah, I'll try. I've been trying to like keep it updated, but it is a challenge. There's no question. Anyway, there is a file about that, about her like, oh man. Is. Anything else you guys want to look at?
No, I'm just thinking.
Those are my Bannon emails. Let's see. Let me see if I can ask AI to find it for me. Find me the file in the Epstein files.
And you mentioned earlier when I asked you who the Lane was, and you were telling me that he was in charge of the cultural program. I just wanted to make mention that that's significant in intelligence operations, controlling the culture. And so those people are normally in these networks. And you can go back in history to the Congress of Cultural Freedom, which was basically a CIA front that they deployed all over the world in arts and stuff like that, which, was like all of the short movies and stuff like that. Articles, journalists, they were basically, a lot of them were being paid by the CIA. So controlling the culture is very, very important for intelligence operations.
All right. So I think Lang was right there. Like he was the guy, according to Epstein, Lang was the guy who designed the pyramid for the Louvre. He was the guy who came up with that idea. This is between, I think it's between Sarah Ferguson and Epstein. You have disappeared. I did not even know you were having a baby. I was so crystal clear to me that you were only friends with me to get to Andrew. And that really hurt me deeply, more than you will know. So I think what she's saying here is like, you didn't really care about me. You just wanted to get to run an influence op on Andrew. That's from the BBC. Like the amount of yeah, stuff that he did was just off the charts.
It's also that I just keep coming back to it. He's comically ranged. I mean, watching to the pyramid guy at the Louvre. To me, I'm naive. I mean, Colonel, you were saying how there are people read in like, to me, it almost strains credibility that he is. You wipe him out, and you've essentially killed the paper trail into several people. That's what it seems like. It seems like Epstein has been placed, and I don't doubt he did a lot of things. It seems like there's several people that you kind of change their names to Epstein, and it's just all Epstein. Because I mean, unless this guy's got like a 250 IQ, it seems like he is from like houses of royalty to I saw something yesterday. Want to like genetically sequence a Neanderthal bone and bring it back. It's like what? You know what I mean? Though at a certain point, you're like, what? I mean, maybe he really is just this, and that's why I'm not running the world. But like, it seems, and that would almost kind of like, well, then why are we seeing all this stuff now? Well, this would make sense if you're trying to, destroy the scent of several people. You'd be like, it was all Epstein. He's dead. It's over.
That's what they did.
Yeah,
It's just Epstein. It's not a network.
it's Epstein, but it's clear. I mean, unless this guy really did do all
Clearly a
this shit.
network.
Yeah. A huge ornate network. It's
An
very
insane
sophisticated.
network.
Different facets. Money laundering, tax evasion, female trafficking, influence
All
ops,
things-
blackmail. Yeah.
Yeah, all things attributed to intel agencies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the Rumler connection. That's it. Like I
Yes.
wonder if she's going to get away with it, no prosecution.
It's like if you looked back several decades to pick your presidential administration and then went through everything they did and attributed to just them. Let's just say Truman. But yeah, well, that was Truman's tax plan for Southern Alabama, and then that was Truman's plan for the new aircraft factory, and then Truman's thing in Europe. You'd be like, "Who the fuck is Truman?" And if you look at it, you go, "Oh, he's the commander in chief," but you have this massive thing that you go, "Oh, and he's the president, so his name's on it." So technically, yes, it was Truman's, but he probably has never been to Alabama. That's what this kind of feels like. You're like, "Who's this Trump guy?" He's commissioning a new space force as well as like, new highways in Michigan. You'd be like, no, he was the president and therefore it's all stamped under him. No, he didn't do it. He delegated. That's what this feels like. Is Epstein is like the Epstein administration. And we're all just going, man, this Epstein guy he was, paving roads and sequencing seahorse DNA. And
His name's on all of the messages talking about him doing it.
I know, which almost seems convenient though. That's, like
He thinks he's above the law. That's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
no,
It's
it
like
could-
these things happen, and he's got all these people in his pocket who are politicians and people in law enforcement or the legal profession. So
maybe
and he has this whole retinue of very intense lawyers who really are ferocious. Like,
and he's probably blackmailed all that. I mean, yeah, maybe this is why I have 12,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel and I'm not running multiple countries through blackmail. Maybe he's got it and I don't. So
he's got the will. He's got the will
Yeah.
to do it.
But there
Yeah.
has to be something bigger behind him.
yes,
People don't do this on their own.
no. Yeah. I don't doubt that he got off on it, that he probably liked the power. I don't doubt that he was clearly a very intelligent person.
Yes.
But again, this ain't him alone, right?
Correct.
When someone
was-
has a solo operation, it looks like my podcast cobbled together by somebody that swears too much and is interviewing people much more intelligent than him and has like an old rag next to him. This is what a solo operation looks like, right? Okay. Not this. Like, so then I get it begs the question then, is this why we see this? Because everyone bites onto this and he's dead and the dead man can't tell no lies and blah, blah, blah. And therefore, let's not look into everything else that was flushed down the toilet with him.
Yes. So, and I get back to this on every one of these research projects I do. They want you to believe that Epstein and Epstein alone was able to travel the globe.
Yeah.
He was able to talk to all of these senior diplomats, politicians, run this extensive blackmail operation, and do it inside the United States. And the FBI, the CIA, the State Department, who controls
Just
all of the passports, had no fucking clue any of it was going on. And it went on for decade after decade after decade. No, that's impossible. We've spent trillions of dollars on intelligence. There is no way
yeah.
that the powers to be did not know literally everything that Epstein was doing.
Yes. Yes. I don't doubt Elon Musk is an intelligent guy, and it's probably not the best example because people are starting to get obsessively hatred. But let's just try to use him as an example. I don't doubt he's a very intelligent guy and he's got the big picture. I also have no doubt in my mind that he is not assembling all these server racks for Grok, that he is not personally welding together the panels for the Starship, that he is not going out at night with a clipboard and working on Tesla he has a team, which makes sense. You go, well, he's the top guy and he's the big picture guy. But he's not doing all that. And if somebody said he was doing all that, you would look at them the same way you look at someone that says they think Santa dropped off presents to 8 billion households. You'd
Right.
say you're a child or you're fucking retarded. That's Epstein.
Yes.
He didn't, I don't doubt he was evil. I don't doubt that he was extremely intelligent. He,
I want to know who's upstream.
yeah. If he was doing this, then he deserves to get away. If he had a 500 IQ and was just running circles around the United States and all of our allies, then hey man, game recognized game. But that wasn't it. When that would make you think, well, then who is above him? I would imagine who's above him might be the people who killed him and then released all this stuff. Just that's what I would do if
As
I
a
were
guess.
them.
As a guess.
That's what I would do if I were them. I'd kill him and then go, yeah, it's all over.
Yeah, it's wrapped up. Nice
Yeah, it's
little
wrapped
bow,
up.
put a bow on it, and
Yep,
like
don't worry about
it's
it.
over. There's this
Yeah,
thing reveals the network. That's the whole thing
yeah,
that a lot of people didn't know.
yeah.
I mean, he's clearly there was a feed going to the Israeli consulate going from the mansion there, so that's a true giveaway.
Huh.
The fact that Epstein's brought in after Maxwell dies and like kind of does the same thing, so Maxwell's being handled too. So there's characters behind them, you know. There's
Yes.
no question the mega group and Ehud Barak is hanging out there, who's part of the same group that Netanyahu's in.
Yeah.
It's called Sayeret Mactel. It's like
Tyra
they're
McTell, yeah.
yeah.
And tell everybody what the mega group is, because I've been screaming about that for a long time. And it's critical to the Epstein story, and no one talks about it.
Because it's too important. That's why they love to bring it up. It's basically a group of Jewish billionaires who are surrounding Wexner, but it also includes Spielberg and I think maybe Bloomberg, if I remember. What's the Bronfmans for sure, who are super shady and super sketchy family involved in Nexium too, which kind of overlaps with this if they are like branding people and stuff. But they're all Zionists too. So I think that that's the financial power behind Epstein.
And they were the ones that donated the money to renovate the White House when Clinton was elected president. And my assertion is Epstein's 17 visits to the White House during the renovation was directly related to the mega group. As a matter of fact, if you go back and research, there were a lot of speculation in the intelligence arena that they suspected it was an Israeli spy because they kept referencing mega, not mega group. They thought it was a single spy.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so if you translate that to Mega Group, the money behind Epstein, and we know how Epstein renovates property with all of the surveillance equipment. And then you couple that with Linda Tripp, who is the one that disclosed the affair between Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. And she said she did it because they were afraid that they were blackmailing Bill Clinton with that information. And so how are you going to blackmail somebody in the Oval Office that has been renovated, funded by the mega group? And fast forward to Epstein's New York house with the picture of Bill Clinton painted in the blue dress hanging on the wall. Now, I've been a hunter. I know what a trophy buck looks like, hanging on the wall in a prominent position in your living room.
Oh, fuck.
That
and
picture,
Bush.
and the one with Bush.
The paper airplanes in the Jenga tower.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes. Those are trophy bucks hanging on the wall.
Right. It makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense. That's it. Just all blackmail, man. It's just off the charts.
Well, what's this? Yeah, well, I'm thoroughly cooked. What's this? We'll wrap it up with this one.
Well, you were talking about the Neanderthal
yeah.
stuff. This is between Epstein and Nowak 2012. I met Savante Pabo from Leipzig. He sequences old bones. I got a complete Neanderthal genome. You would like him. He knows church. The two of them could build a Neanderthal person. Great.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, no, this isn't one guy.
No.
They're in time. They're just going to call it the Epstein Network. It's going to be known as that because there's too many other people involved. All this stuff involved. They're going to start people who are like journalists.
I have a problem even with that because that makes it sound like he owns the network. He does not. He was a spoke in a much bigger.
You're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, I totally agree with you.
But they will do that. You're absolutely.
Yeah. What are they going to call it then? The Mega Network or just the Zionist Network? Or because they're not all Jews.
They'll never.
Oh, they're not.
They're not.
No, they're not.
Staley's not Jewish. Gates is not Jewish. Nowak's from Austria.
That's the point that I make every single time we have these conversations. I refer to it as an international syndicate because it's an international crime syndicate. And there is no one single religion. There is no one single occupation. It is a collective that basically wants to control the world, and they'll do whatever it takes to do it.
That's what I always tell people.
Spectre or something.
On one hand, the people that are like, well, it can never be Israel. I'm like, no, Israel's involved. And then to the people that say it's only Israel, when I push back and say it's not only Israel, this isn't me defending Israel. This is me saying I don't think blackmail, Machiavellian genocide, and torture is the exclusive providence of it. It's not me putting Israel up on a pedestal. It's saying all creeds of people are demons from hell. That's where I look at it. To say it's one group is not demonizing that group. It's being way too kind to your own group. I love the United States. I am not ignorant of the shit we've done, are doing, and will continue to do. That's what it is. It's an international syndicate. And anybody trying to tell you it's Russia, it's the Jews, it's Trump, they are trying to deflect from a broader picture, and they don't have the best of intentions. Or they truly do believe it is one group of people, and they are functionally retarded.
I love it.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right. We'll wrap this up. Guys, thank you both of you. Will, thank you for walking us through. Bannon's piece of shit. Colonel, thank you for your time. And I'll get this up right away. And yeah, again, thank you so much for your time. Guys, please go to the description. Please go follow the Twitters. Please go grab all of Will's books, all that good stuff. And yeah, guys, thank you so much. And till next time, thank you for watching. Hey guys, thanks for watching. 3 quick organizations that I try to help through the podcast. I don't take any money from, and I wouldn't if they offered. First and foremost is ARC, the Association for the Recovery of Children. That's led by Basil Baz. It's been around since 1993. They physically liberate sex-trafficked children. They get about 10 to 12 kids a year. I've got a fundraiser thrown for them before. You can go to the link in the description. You can donate. I think as little as $1. It's tax deductible. They are truly doing the Lord's work. This isn't an awareness campaign. This isn't wristbands. They physically go in, kick down doors, and liberate children who are raped daily. They're doing the Lord's work. If you can go help them, you can go give $1. You can also take their training programs and do your best to help spot human trafficking in the world around you. It really is, if there's anything that this podcast accomplishes on this earth, I think it should be to help them. The second group is Invest, like a vest, a bulletproof vest, led by Mike Letts. 25% of police precincts in the United States cannot afford to give their, and this is true, cannot afford to give their officers cars, weapons, nor vests. They cannot do that. And you can donate as little as $1. They have donated over, I believe, 70,000 bulletproof vests in 30 years. Actually, Invest and ARC were both founded in 1983. Fun fact. And Invest is also doing something that is dovetailing actually with ARC. I put them in touch, BAR, Broken Arrow Ranch, which is to make sure that the kids who are rescued don't fall right back into the traffic system. So ARC, you can go in there and you can help them, and Invest, you can also go in there and help them. And lastly is the Church of the Barbarian Spirit. That's my buddy Clay Martin, Special Forces. It is a group to where Special Forces veterans are helping other Special Forces veterans in unconventional ways, be it fasting, be it psychedelics, be it just face-to-face talking, to reduce suicide rates. And as you guys know, suicide is very near and dear to me. So those are three groups that I really think are actively trying to make the world a better place instead of just talking about it. If you guys could just go check them out, go share their links, go do whatever you can. If you can donate, go donate. If not, that's cool too. But, long after I'm dead, long after you guys are gone, I want the lasting impact of this podcast to be something that's genuinely helped the world. So if you guys can go check those out, that would be insanely appreciated. Thank you so much.